From Mifflin Stadium in Shillington, Pennsylvania, this is Berks County football on the Flagship Network. Tonight, the Bulldogs of Wilson will battle Governor Mifflin for the 67th time overall in their series. Hi, everyone. Welcome to our broadcast. My name is Max Gretzel. Grady Gardner's been a force offensively all season long for Mifflin. He comes in leading the Lancaster-Lebanon League with 14 total touchdowns, and he's fourth overall in rushing with 706 total yards on the ground. Corell Aikens not so bad himself for Wilson, 4 touchdowns and 457 rushing yards overall. The quarterback for Wilson is Maddox Gruber, and he's been a solid pocket passer all season long, completing 65% of his passes, and he has 785 passing yards total on the season. Wilson running the way with the poll, 86% overall compared to Mifflin's 14. So we'll see if Wilson's able to run away with this one on the football field here tonight. Shout out to our sponsors. Wouldn't be able to do it without them. It's our 5th game overall here on the Flagship Network, and we'll have it for you next. Kickoff coming your way right after this.
Wilson's upcoming slate of games. First game coming up this Saturday.
The slammer takes
He was much more serious than I expected.
All right.
Well, it wasn't an invite. You invited yourself.
No, we were just like, hey, are we doing this? I'm like, yeah, sure, let's do this. Let's do it early this
Wilson
time.
alum and Super Bowl champion Chad Penn.
Thanks for having me, guys.
For the time period you played in, there weren't a lot of losses to talk about when you were on the team.
Oh man, yeah, we didn't lose often.
I just think that each year, you get a different group of kids with different personalities, different ways that they learn, and it's that challenge that you continue to
Telling me that this is really work. So we'll see about that. We'll know in a few weeks.
So hopefully we will have lots and lots of interviews for you throughout the next couple months.
Welcome to the Wyomissing Restaurant and Bakery, where we have a range of options to suit any taste. We are a family-friendly establishment offering a welcoming atmosphere for any occasion or a casual outing. Join us for our weekday breakfast buffet from 7 to 10 a.m. or our weekday brunch buffet from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Want to bring the family out for a weekend brunch? Join us on Saturday and Sunday for our grand weekend brunch buffet from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. The Wyomissing Restaurant and Bakery, located at 1245 Penn Avenue in Wyomissing.
Did you know one of the nation's top surgical hospitals is right here in Berks County? At the Surgical Institute of Reading, our physicians take ownership of their patients' care. Our award-winning clinical teams have a vested interest in the quality care you receive. We use the latest state-of-the-art equipment to assist our surgeons in a wide variety of specialty areas. There is a better option for your care. Surgical Institute of Reading. Discover for yourself what sets us apart.
is a credit union that understands Pennsylvania, what it means to grow up here, raise a family, start a business. And we're committed to being your financial partner for life. With competitive rates, exclusive member discounts, and modern technology, UECU offers personalized banking that will make you feel right at home. Visit bankingforpa.org and sign up for UECU membership through our partner association, the Pennsylvania Consumer Council. UECU, banking that understands home.
Wilson's upcoming slate of games. First game coming up this Saturday.
The slammer takes
He was much more serious than I expected.
All right.
Well, it
so
wasn't an invite, you invited yourself.
no, we were just like, hey, are we doing this? I'm like, yeah, sure, let's do this. Let's do it early this
Wilson
time.
alum and Super Bowl champion Chad Penn.
Thanks for having me, guys.
For the time period you played in, there weren't a lot of losses to talk about when you were on the team.
Oh man, yeah, we didn't lose often.
I just think that each year, you get a different group of kids with different personalities, different ways that they learn, and it's that challenge that you continue to
Tell me if this is going to work. So we'll see about that. We'll know in a few weeks.
So hopefully we will have lots and lots of interviews for you throughout the next couple months.
Did you know one of the nation's top surgical hospitals is right here in Berks County? At the Surgical Institute of Reading, our physicians take ownership of their patients' care. Our award-winning clinical teams have a vested interest in the quality care you receive. We use the latest state-of-the-art equipment to assist our surgeons in a wide variety of specialty areas. There is a better option for your care. Surgical Institute of Reading. Discover for yourself what sets us apart.
Officials for tonight's game, the white hat is Tom Miller. Ump is Mike Kutz. Head linesman Sal Cato. Line judge Al Lopez. Mike Berry. Side judge, field judge Rich Robinson.
Welcome in, everyone. Max Gredzula on the Flagship Network. It's Wilson, it's Mifflin. Again, they meet for the 67th time overall. Head coach of Wilson, Doug Doms, has a record of 13 wins and 7 losses in his time as the head coach of the Wilson Bulldogs. Tonight with a win, it'll tie him all time with victories against Governor Mifflin. Wilson won the toss. They they accepted, so they will have possession of the football as Governor Mifflin gets set to kick this one away on their home turf. Again, our second game here on the Flagship Network inside of this stadium. And it was week 1 of the season that Mifflin ran away with a big-time victory over Pleasant Valley. Both teams coming off with a victory, 41-6. Governor Mifflin beat Muhlenberg on Sunday after that one was postponed 2 days from Friday night of last week. Wilson coming in off a victory against Cedar Crest, 14-7. Had a big goal line stand in that, and we know the Wilson fans were tuned in for that. It's been a back-and-forth season overall for Governor Mifflin. They come with a record of 3-2 overall in the season. And they have gone back and forth in their first 5 games in the win-loss category. For Wilson, they come with a record of 4-1. They're only lost to Nazareth in week 2. So we're just about set for kickoff here. Mifflin and Wilson for the 67th time overall. And we are underway after a poor kick. It crosses the 30 and close to the 25-yard line and out of bounds there. Again, high school rules on touchbacks. Ball comes out to the 20-yard line. In college, it comes out to the 25, and in the pros, it comes out to the 30. So overall, starting at the 27-yard line for Wilson is, of course, better than the 20. So Coach Doug Doms and the offense will be on the field to start this one. And it will be a tall task tonight for the Mifflin defense. Players to watch, of course, Maddox Gruber, number 14, the quarterback for Wilson, and Reese Hull, number 4, leads Berks County with 3 overall, of course, interceptions this season. First pass from Gruber. Comes to the near sideline. He'll sling one out of bounds in front of the Mifflin bench. Gruber with 705 passing yards in the season, very poised in the pocket, but he can do it with his legs as well. In last week's victory, again, it was a close one, 14-7. He ran 14 times for 54 yards, and he'll have to use those legs again tonight to come out of this stadium with a victory. That'll bring up a 2nd down and 10 from the 27-yard line of Wilson. Packed house here tonight from both sides. The crowd of Wilson travels well. You can see them decked out in the red and white on the opposite side of the field. Empty backfield for Gruber on 2nd and 10. Motion man. Zollinger to the right. And we have some movement up front. It's going to be on Governor Mifflin, and they have to avoid the penalties tonight. It's going to be a tall task with the Wilson offense, and you can't beat yourselves if you're head coach Nick Morrissey and company. So that'll bring up a 2nd down and 5 from the 32-yard line. Zollinger again, the motion man. Gruber takes the snap, looks to run. Will try the near sideline, up past the 35-yard line, and tackled shortly after that. And that's going to be good for a Wilson first down. Gruber, a 2-sport athlete, basketball and football. He's obviously talented at both. One of the better 2 guards in Berks County, and he runs the show at the quarterback spot. First and 10 from the 38. This time Greer in motion. Pistol formation. High snap, pitch it out. And Greer has some running room as he's up past the 40-yard line and brought down right around the 45. So the ground game working so far on this opening drive for Wilson. Head coach Nick Morrissey talked in the preseason about how he felt his squad was built heavy up front in the trenches, both on the offensive line and the defensive line, and they're going to be tasked with a big-time job up front in this one here tonight. Gruber puts his head down, tries the near sideline, turns the corner. He's over midfield, and he's got some running room. Down the near sideline, 30, 25, cuts it back to the 20, and he's tackled down inside the 15-yard line.
Lead for the tackle.
Direct snap to Gruber. The QB draw works to perfection.
First down,
And it's a massive game on the ground for number 14 in the white jersey. Have to credit the offensive line up front, especially that right side. No motion men on that last snap, but they didn't need it. Seemed to be set up perfectly in formation, and Gruber on the near sideline turns the corner and finds a massive gain. That'll bring up a first down and 10 just like that. Bulldogs deep in Governor Mifflin territory on the 14-yard line. Not even 2 minutes into this game yet. Zollinger in motion yet again. Gruber, direct snap to him. And he cuts it back up, finds a hole, and it's another positive gain inside the 10-yard line.
And 6. Second down.
Officially a 6-yard pickup.
8-yard line.
And that'll bring up a 2nd down and 4 from the Mifflin 8. Corral Akins, you saw him momentarily there left of your screen. He's in the slot. Highlighted him in the open, and here he comes in motion. Again, another pistol formation. Gruber, direct snap to him. He'll pitch it out. Akins looking for some running room, and finally Mifflin able to turn
Number 11.
Wilson away deep in their own territory.
Ron Leaf.
Leaf comes up with the tackle. He leads Mifflin in tackles overall this season. Leaf comes in this game with 24 tackles overall. That's his 25th this season. And that sets up a massive 3rd down and 1 from the 5-yard line on the opening drive of this one. Again, a rainy night here in Shillington, Pennsylvania. Ball control and turnovers are key in any game, but even more so here tonight. We have a penalty marker down as Akins can't find any running room. And
Akins.
it looks like he's got the 1st down. But there is a penalty marker on the field. We'll see where the referee's spotted after the call. And it's not going to matter. A legal shift is called. Too many men in motion for Wilson. So that'll back him up. It'll bring up a 3rd down and a little bit longer now. No rain at the start of this game, but now we're starting to feel some drizzle here in the opening stages of the first quarter. Gruber, empty backfield. Mifflin showing blitz. And it's intercepted. Just like that, Gruber. Almost a touch pass. And it's intercepted by Mifflin. Jenkins comes away with it. The two-way player, slot receiver and corner, and Jenkins comes up with one of the bigger plays you'll see this season in a game that means so much to both sides. So Javian Pletz will lead his team and his offense, obviously, overall onto the football field for the first time here tonight, deep in his own territory. Wilson threw a punch, and we'll see if Mifflin can answer. Obviously no points on the scoreboard, and one could argue Mifflin has already answered. Gardner gets the carry, and he's up just shy of the 20-yard line.
Gardner.
Well, to go back on that turnover note, Wilson turned the football over 3 times last week in the victory against Cedar Crest. Again, only scored 14 points in that one, but held Cedar Crest to 7 total points in that game. And they committed just 2 turnovers all season prior last week, and just like that, Gruber turns the football over again. Gardner again. This time Pletz has it, and he gets across the 20-yard line, and he's brought down right around the 24. So we mentioned Grady Gardner in the opening for multiple reasons. One, he leads the Lancaster Lebanon League in overall touchdowns, 13 rushing, 1 receiving.
3rd and 1 for the Mustangs at the.
He's getting fed like prime Zeke so far this season. 120 total touches in only 5 games so far this year. He's made the most of them. 3rd down and 1 from the 24-yard line. Pletz under center. He gives to Gardner, and he's got the 1st down up across the 25-yard line.
1st down, Mustangs. 12. Klein with the tackle for the Bulldogs.
Well, when you talk about wear and tear, it doesn't matter for the senior, Grady Gardner. We know the game plan for Mifflin is going to be coming in here, protecting the football, running it as well. And Mifflin has turned the ball over the least in their section. And it's been key in their 3 victories so far this year. Gardner gets another touch. He's up across the 30-yard line now. And little by little, this drive started inside the Mifflin 20-yard line.
10 Herb with the tackle.
Clock continues to run. 6:39 and counting in the opening stanza. Platt's a game manager. Doesn't turn the football over. And Wilson answers the call at the defensive front. Gardner still with 5 white jerseys surrounding him, still on his feet. He's almost impossible to bring down. Halfway through the first quarter, and no score. It's a 3rd down and 4 from the 33-yard line. Pletz again takes the snap. Jenkins is the motion man, and the end around is not working. Wilson reads that to perfection.
Loss on the play.
And it's a loss of yards for the Mustangs. So will look to be a promising drive to start is halted at the 31-yard line. And Mifflin are going to have to continue to run the football. We know they do it each week, but it's going to be a little bit tougher to get those big chunk plays against the Bulldog defense that comes in with a lot of seniors on that side of the football. Jenkins set to boot this one back. And we have a penalty marker down on the field. It's a false start, and it'll back up Mifflin 5 more yards deeper into their own territory. So, again, on a wet and rainy night here in Shillington, you have to execute at an even higher level than usual, and that's protecting the football. Hopefully Jenkins, who is one of the better punters in Berks County, is going to be relied upon heavily here to push that football deep into Wilson territory. We'll see if he's able to do it. We saw how bad the opening kickoff was, and that one's booted past midfield. It takes a big hop around the 35-yard line and a positive hop for the Mustangs. Akings turns the corner down the near sideline, and he's barged out of bounds right around midfield. Great punt from Jenkins, a better return for Atkins. And it sets up Wilson in positive field position, to say the least, on their second drive of the football game. Well, Akings, we highlighted him in the open. He's got 4 touchdowns overall, over 400 rushing yards, but he does damage as a returner as well, and he shows you why right there.
Bulldogs first down at midfield.
We saw a lot of empty backfield sets for Gruber on that opening possession. Zollner was in the backfield on multiple occasions. Now we see the leading rusher for the Bulldogs, and that's Akings after the hefty return to the right of Gruber on 1st and 10 from the 50-yard line. Again, no score here in the first quarter. Glover in motion. Akings gets his number called, and he's bottled up in the backfield. It's going to be a 4-yard loss for the Bulldogs. And it'll bring up a 2nd down and long.
Loss on the play of 3 yards.
Well, LeBron Leaf, we talked about him on that last possession. Obviously leads the team in tackles with 25, but Ish Vargas has 19, Stephon Mayo has 21, Bryce Tully has 20. They really do it with a collective effort on the defensive side of things as Gruber calls his own number this time, and he's got nowhere to go. Brought down after a short 2-yard pickup.
Gave a half yard, 3rd down.
And that'll bring up a 3rd down and long as the clock ticks under now 4 minutes to go here in this first quarter, excuse me. Gruber Back to pass, steps up in the pocket, and he finds Zollinger, who finds the first down across the 40-yard line, and he runs out of bounds there. Cameron Zollinger, his first reception of the game, and it's good enough for a Bulldogs first down. .12-yard pickup for Zollinger. Greer in the backfield, pistol formation yet again. Zollinger tries the opposite side of the field this time, and he has another solid pickup as he's dropped right around the 30-yard line by Reese Hull. It's a 9-yard pickup on first down. Zollinger jogs off the field now and gets a much-deserved breather. He's caught 2 passes on the last 2 plays, and they were both for chunk yards. Empty backfield for Gruber. 2nd and 2 from the 30-yard line. Glover now in the backfield. Gruber takes the snap, turns the corner, and he's out of bounds. Looks to be right around the 20-yard line. And the Mifflin sideline wanted a false start on Glover, didn't get it. As the wide out in motion looked to move a little early. We'll see if Wilson can score on this possession, or will the Mustangs come up with another big-time stand deep in their own territory.
Mustang, 25-yard line.
Hunsaker in the slot to the near side. Gruber gives to Akins. He turns the corner, and he's brought down just around the 20-yard line. Looks to be about a 5-yard pickup on 1st and 10. Leaf picks up the tackle. That's his 2nd of the game overall. And it'll bring up a 2nd down and 6 from the 21-yard line inside 2 minutes to play in the first quarter. Still no score. Both teams showing out again. Mentioned that in the opening. One of the biggest games of the season for bragging rights of these crosstown rivals. Gruber takes the snap. It's a screen pass. Mifflin doesn't read it well. And jogging in, untouched into the end zone is Carpenter. Touchdown, Bulldogs. Well, it's a simple screen pass, and credit the blocking by the wide receiver group for the Bulldogs. Gets Carpenter freed up, and it's a Bulldogs touchdown.
Hunsaker to attempt the point after out of Gruber's hold.
Christo Hunsaker on to attempt the extra point. And on a touchdown like that, it's simply a numbers game. Not enough defenders out there on the far sideline, and just the right amount of blockers. And one of the main reasons why Carpenter's freed up, and I tell you what, man, no one was near him as he jogged into the end zone. Gruber to hold. Kicks on its way. And it's good.
It's good.
So the Bulldogs strike first in this rivalry, 7-0. Wilson, 1:28 to play in the first quarter. We'll see if Governor Mifflin can get something on the board here as we near the end of the first quarter.
Wilson's upcoming slate of games. First game coming up this Saturday.
The slammer takes
He was there. He was much more serious than I expected.
All right.
Well,
so
it wasn't an invite. You invited yourself.
no, we were just like, hey, are we doing this? I'm like, yeah, sure, let's do this. Let's do it early this
Wilson
time.
alum and Super Bowl champion Chad Penn. Thanks for having me, guys.
For the time period you played in, there weren't a lot of losses to talk about when you were on the team.
Oh man, yeah, we didn't lose often.
I just think that each year, you get a different group of kids with different personalities, different ways that they learn, and it's that challenge that you continue to.
Telling me that this is really work. So we'll see about that. We'll know in a few weeks.
So hopefully we will have lots and lots of interviews for you throughout the next couple months.
Seven 0 Wilson as they get set to boot it back to Mifflin. Again, the crowd on their feet on the opposite sideline as Wilson travels well. Their fan base knows how big of a game this one is when they go into class on Monday morning. Hunsicker, fresh off the extra point, is set to boot this one to the Mustangs. Reese Hall set to receive. And it's a pretty solid kick. Hall coming in, charges it across the 30-yard line, now the 35, and he's brought down around the 38-yard line. Can't give Hall a full head of steam. And he makes them pay. It sets up positive field position for Pletz and company on their second drive of the game.
Ball's on the Mustang, 38, first and 10.
Gruber last week was 10 of 16 passing for Wilson for 137 yards and 2 interceptions. I mentioned he ran the ball 14 times, and both of these teams love to run the football. So far, it's Wilson who's doing it more effectively. Gardner in the backfield. He gets the carry, and there's nowhere to go. He's brought down almost immediately. Glover in on the tackle partially. And that'll bring up second down and long. 2-yard pickup. Ball's on the 40-yard line. 1 minute to go in the first quarter. It's a quiet student section on the Mifflin sideline, and really a quiet sideline in general. 2nd and 8 from the 40. Gardner and Hall both in the backfield. Hall in motion to the near sideline. Pletz back to pass. He's going deep down the near sideline for Hall, and it's incomplete. Well, if you ask Hall, he probably thinks he should have brought it in.
Pass to Hall for incomplete.
And something we don't see a ton of is Pletz airing it out, but he does so right there. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down and 8. Well, if you're Coach Morris, you got to get the ball in the hands of your playmakers, and we know that Reese Hall is one of the best in the county. Not only as a corner, but as a receiver as well. And I'm sure that won't be the last time I call his name tonight. Third and 8 from the 40-yard line. We mentioned that. Pletz, hands off. And picking up the first down is Leaf. That's Leaf's first touch of the game. And it's a first down for Mifflin. Saw all of those white jerseys flock towards Pletz and Gardner. And it's a little bit of misdirection for this Mifflin offense. Two things that we see a ton of are Pletz and Gardner both running the football, but as we end this first quarter, Mifflin creates a spark. 7-0 Bulldogs, but Mifflin's moving it, converting a first down. We'll see what they have to start the second quarter. We'll be right back.
Welcome to the Why I'm Missing Restaurant and Bakery, where we have a range of options to suit any taste. We are a family-friendly establishment offering a welcoming atmosphere for any occasion or a casual outing. Join us for our weekday breakfast buffet from 7 to 10 a.m. or our weekday brunch buffet from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Want to bring the family out for a weekend brunch? Join us on Saturday and Sunday for our grand weekend brunch buffet from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. The Wyomissing Restaurant and Bakery, located at 1245 Penn Avenue in Wyomissing.
Welcome back, everyone. Second quarter of action starts right now from Mifflin High School. Max Gretzula here in Shillington, Pennsylvania. Mifflin on the move. It's 1st and 10 from the 50-yard line. Gardner in the backfield. Pletz hands it to him. And Gardner has a healthy carry across the 45-yard line and looks to be about a 7-yard pickup. So that'll bring up a second down and 3 as the Mifflin offense moves over midfield. Talked about how important the rushing attack would be for both of these teams. And Gardner is having himself a pretty solid drive here so far. Again, he's in the backfield by himself. Pletz, this time, he'll sling it out to the near sideline, and it's incomplete, looking for Murray.
Pletz pass ball is incomplete, intended for Murray.
Murray had a step on his defender, but the connection wasn't there with Pletz. And that'll bring up a 3rd down and 3. Interesting play call there after Gardner picks up 7 on 1st down. I think you have to keep feeding them, especially in those short yardage situations. We'll see if Wilson now stacks the box and sells out for stacks the box, and sells out for the run here on 3rd down and 3, arguably 4-down territory for this Mifflin offense. We have a whistle and some cheers from the Mifflin crowd. Signals possibly an offsides, and indeed it is, against Wilson. So they'll move the ball 5 yards forward, and we won't get to see that 3rd down play. It's an automatic 1st down for Mifflin. Murray set out wide. Man-to-man coverage on the near sideline. Gardner not up the middle this time. He turns the corner, and he has a massive pickup. Nobody's going to get him, and Gardner's gone. Touchdown, Governor Mifflin. Just excellent play calling there from the offensive coordinator, Mick Vecchio. You saw Pletz throw a deep ball to Hull in that first quarter. Connection wasn't there, but it's something different. And we saw Gardner get fed repeatedly up the gut this time on the pitch play. Gardner's freed up, and when he gets a full head of steam and nobody in front of him, we know he can go all the way and outrun those deep backs, and he does so right there. Koenig on for the extra point. It's up, and it's good. And the Mifflin offense strikes back. It's 7-all, 11:14 to go in the second quarter. Back here out of a timeout, Max Gretzula on the call for the Flagship Network. 11:14 to go in the second quarter. Mifflin strikes back, answers the Bulldog touchdown with one of their own, and now Jenkins is set to boot this one back to the Bulldogs. Just when you think you've seen it all from Grady Garner, he does something else to just make you shake your head. Super talented running back. As that football's booted out of bounds.
Kickoff goes out of bounds. First and 10, Bulldogs.
It'll be first and 10 for the Bulldogs, and the penalty marker down on the field. Nobody touched that football, and it trickled right out of bounds. Almost looked to be on purpose off the foot of Jenkins. It'll be a 20-yard penalty.
We're going to re-kick.
And they'll re-kick. Or a 5-yard penalty, excuse me. And they get backed up a little bit deeper into their own territory and kick it again. This time, a little bit better of a kick there for Jenkins. And a good kick coverage there from Mifflin as well. I'll tell you what, Jenkins gets a little bit lucky there as that ball died right on that near sideline. Could have easily been another 5-yard penalty. But Wilson decided to pick it up. And the Bulldogs will have possession of the football first and 10.
From their own 22-yard line.
So this drive for Wilson will start at their own 22-yard line. Empty backfield for Gruber on first and 10. Here comes the motion man. It's Greer now. Set up in the pistol. Gruber. Screen passes on. Zollinger has his third reception of the game, but he's not going anywhere. He's brought down right around the 25-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 3.
Gain a yard. Overlay up quickly with the tackle.
It'll bring up a second down and 8. Gruber is brought down absolutely immediately.
Hold down. 80 for the Mustangs.
Derek Dentale, got to give him credit for that tackle as he blew up that play.
Loss of 3 on the play.
It's a loss of 3. It'll bring up a third down and 11 from where this drive started at the 22-yard line. Gruber again in the shotgun. Mifflin showing blitz off the right. Gruber back to pass, steps up over the middle, and it's incomplete. Off the gloves of Glover. No pun intended. And the Bulldogs will punt. In my opinion, it all starts on first down for both of these teams. If they're able to get some solid yards, and by solid I mean 5 or 6. I know that's asking a lot, but really anything positive. And the screen pass to Hollander really halted that drive from the start. Second down and long almost immediately, and it's a botched punt. And just like that, the weather finally comes into play, and Vargas is fired up, and for good reason.
Covers it. First down, Mustangs at the Bulldog 12-yard line.
Well, the big man made hay on social media in week 1 after a 3-sack performance overall, but 2 of them came back-to-back in that second half against Pleasant Valley. And he recovers that football in Bulldogs territory. So uncharacteristic of this Wilson team so far this season. Mentioned the turnover numbers, and even though it's not a turnover, it definitely feels like one when they're booting it away. Pitch plays on. That's Hull, and he's brought down. right around the 15-yard line.
Call
And I shouldn't say brought
to the
down,
10.
as not a ton of these Mustangs like to go down easily. And we've seen that all season long. Leaf jogging now onto the field. And Pletz and company continuing to burn some clock. Under 10 to go in the second quarter. And now they break huddle. Jameer Johnson, bottom of your screen, man-to-man coverage. Gardner gets his number called, and instead Pletz will keep it. Pletz into the end zone. It's a Mustangs touchdown. Well, if you love football, these last two scores for the Mustangs are right down your alley, and the play calling has been absolutely fantastic, and the execution by these student athletes as well. Pletz calls his own number. Everybody and their mother thinking Gardner's going to get it inside the 10-yard line, and Pletz, with another misdirection play, executes. And just like that, Mifflin is ahead 13-7, extra point pending. And it's up. And it's good. So after Wilson jumps out to a 7-0 lead, the Mustangs strike back in a big way. Back-to-back touchdowns, and it's 14-7. Tune in next week. Got a couple of big-time matchups for you. Myself, Max Gretzel, will be in Lampeter-Stroudsburg as Northern Lebanon comes into town. That'll be on Thursday night at 7 p.m. And then Friday, Fleetwood on the road at Warwick. Again, Friday night at 7 o'clock. You won't want to miss it. Twin Valley, now #1 in the state of Pennsylvania. I'll tell you what, they're a special team. They're fun to watch. We had them back a few weeks ago in their home turf. A lot of football coming up as we near the midway point of the season. I think throughout the first couple of weeks, we can all agree the weather still felt like summer, but not here tonight on a rainy, I guess really a couple of days here in Pennsylvania. Again, hopefully everybody's safe down there in the southern states. That big-time hurricane coming through, but up here in Pennsylvania, just some rain, and these guys play through that. Come on, we know. We know everybody's excited for Friday Night Lights. Jenkins set the boot it back to Wilson. And it's a low liner this time to the opposite side of the field, and it's another bobble punt. Make that twice, and the kick coverage again works to perfection as Akins is dropped inside his own 15-yard line.
Down deep in their own territory.
Well, in a rivalry like this, one play leads to another, and the momentum continues to build on the Mustang sideline. 2 touchdowns,
first down,
and now 2 muffs, one on a punt, one on a return for Wilson. And again, they'll set up shop deep in their own territory yet again, but if there's somebody that can lead a charge, it's Maddox Gruber, number 14, and they'll start this possession on the 14-yard line at that. Motion man is Greer. He'll get the carry. Drives the far sideline, and there's no running room.
In the backfield for the Mustangs.
That'll bring up a second down and long.
Loss of a yard.
Interesting to see as this ball game goes on. We know Mifflin loves to run the football, and Gardner's been one of the best in the county at that, arguably the best. Mifflin so far stopping the run for Wilson. We'll see if the play calling changes as the second quarter and the second half pick up. Gruber tries the near sideline, cuts it back upfield, past the 20, now the 25, and he's bottled up with a big-time hit around the 30-yard line. Leaf lays the hammer, but not after a 10-plus yard pickup for Gruber. And that's some breathing room now for the Bulldogs. Brady Klein, number 12, jogs off the field for Wilson. And they'll bring up a first down and 10 on their own 31-yard line, 7:46 and counting in the second quarter. Zollinger in motion. Gruber will keep it himself, and there's nowhere to go.
In the backfield for the Mustangs.
Don Tully and company in on the stop.
Tully.
And Tully there as well. Loss of 1, that'll bring up a 2nd down and 11 from the 30-yard line of Wilson. Two similar offensive styles for the most part, but when you see Pletz, really all 11 members on the field when Mifflin's on offense, looks to the sideline, gets the call, and then they execute. It's a lot of talking, a lot of pausing, and the play clock really runs down when Gruber's under center for this Bulldogs offense so far, and it just doesn't look good. And Gruber trying to escape, and he does. 35, 40, 45. There's a penalty marker down. This may come back. A possible hold on Wilson would be my guess, and indeed it is. It's a 15-yard pickup. It's going to come back, and Gruber's been under pressure these last 2 possessions. And credit that defensive front for Mifflin, making life uncomfortable for Gruber.
Hold 73 offense.
Avery Menara called for the hold. It'll be a 10-yard penalty. Mifflin accepts, so it'll bring up a 2nd down and 21 for Wilson from their own 20-yard line. Gruber with an empty backfield. This time he's direct, takes the snap, again scrambles to the far sideline, and that pass is tipped and then caught. Glover makes a tremendous play off the deflection. And just when you think Wilson might be in trouble on offense, they strike back.
Third and 5.
So it'll bring up a 3rd down and 6 now, more manageable for this Wilson offense.
Bulldog, 36-yard line.
Who's going to make a play for the Bulldogs? 6 minutes, 12 seconds to go until halftime. Gruber in the shotgun, Zollinger in the slot. He goes in motion. And Gruber calls his own number, tries the far sideline, and he's got the 1st down and a little more as he's knocked out of bounds across the 45-yard line. 2nd down and 21, and Gruber makes things happen. It's one of the main reasons why the Bulldogs are 4-1, and that's what makes teams good versus teams great. And when you're 2nd down and 21 on the road in a hostile environment, the weather becoming a factor. We've seen a couple of fumbles from Wilson. Gruber steps up in a big-time way. Now it's A-Kings in the backfield. Pistol formation. Gruber takes the snap, and there's some movement up front. It's going to be an offside penalty against Mifflin. It's amazing what one play can do. You have the tip pass, easily could have been knocked down and incomplete, but Glover makes a tremendous play right in front of his sideline, and then you have the run by Gruber, and then the penalty by Mifflin, and it continues to snowball. When things are going your way, things are going your way, and when they're not, they're not. Simple as that. 14-7 your score.
2nd and 5 for the Bulldogs.
But now Mifflin on their heels a little bit, even though the ball is still in Wilson territory. Again, this drive started on Wilson's own 22-yard line. Again, A-Kings in motion now in the backfield. 1st and 5 from the 47. Gruber keeps it himself, and he's tackled almost immediately as he falls forward and actually picks up a couple.
Gauge 3.
It's going to be a 3-yard pickup exactly. And it'll bring up a 2nd down and 2.
2nd and 2
from midfield. Quiet night so far for A-Kings in the backfield, minus the return earlier on in that first quarter. Greer goes in motion, and he catches the screen across the 45-yard line, and now brought down just before the 40, and Jenkins almost went for a body slam. We know he plays with a lot of passion.
With the tackle.
And just like that, Wilson now officially across midfield.
1st down, Bulldogs. the 42-yard line.
Wilson picks up a first down. It'll be a 1st and 10 from the Mifflin 42-yard line. I think some may agree that Gruber looks a little bit more comfortable now in the pocket, and especially when he's calling these plays. Not as much communication to the offensive line and his receivers as we saw earlier on. He's getting the call, and he's really direct as he tries the far sideline. Cuts it back upfield. Gruber's got some space inside the 15-yard line, and he's brought down, but we have a penalty marker on the field.
Flag on the play.
Clock will stop. We'll see what the call is. Rain starts to pick up just a little bit more here in the second quarter.
Hold, Bulldogs.
And Wilson shoots themselves in the foot yet again. It's a hold on Wilson. So wipe away a massive run from Gruber.
Holding the offense, still first down, timeout, ready.
Mifflin will call a timeout. I think it's a good one as they're back up on their heels, and Wilson's putting a charge on this offensive drive. Come right back. We'll see what happens on this possession right after this.
Did you know one of the nation's top surgical hospitals is right here in Berks County? At the Surgical Institute of Reading, our physicians take ownership of their patients' care. Our award-winning clinical teams have a vested interest in the quality care you receive. We use the latest state-of-the-art equipment to assist our surgeons in a wide variety of specialty areas. There is a better option for your care. Surgical Institute of Reading. Discover for yourself what sets us apart.
In a game that means just a little more. It's 14-7 Mifflin. But they're on their heels as the Bulldogs are charging down the field. Again, this drive started on Wilson's 22-yard line. They're into Mifflin territory now, and it's 1st down and 4. Deep pass. Gruber looking for Glover, and he's got it.
Pass is complete. Leaf defending.
Leaf versus Glover. What a big-time matchup. One of the best you'll see. Leaf, the leading tackler on this Mifflin defense, and Glover, you could argue, the biggest playmaker here tonight for the Bulldogs. And Glover wins this battle. What a big-time play drawn up out of the timeout. Ball's on the 4-yard line. 1st and goal, Wilson. 2 answers from Mifflin. Can Wilson answer with a touchdown of their own? Gruber in the shotgun. Greer in motion. Greer will get it. Near sideline. Hull can't finish the tackle, and I think Greer may have gotten in. Did he? He did. Touchdown, Wilson. And Hull's going to kick himself. He had Greer dead to rights momentarily, but credit Greer. 2nd effort, maybe a 3rd effort. And he breaks the plane for a Wilson touchdown. Unbelievable. One of the craziest drives you will see so far in the opening stages of this 2024 football season in Berks County. Zollinger on for the extra point as he looks to knot this game back up 14 apiece. And we have some movement up front. It's going to be offsides, and it's going to go against Mifflin. It'll be half the distance to the goal, and Zollner will try again. We'll see if this changes the mindset on offense for Wilson. And now Gruber is back at the quarterback spot.
Bulldogs will go for 2.
Akings in the backfield. Gruber, for the first time tonight on the 1-yard line, will line up under center. Takes the snap, fakes the handoff, and wide open is Zollinger, and it's good, a 2-point conversion. He's got that. And again, it looks like here in the second quarter, both teams are talented, we know that, but who's going to make the least amount of mistakes? So far, that's been Wilson. We'll step aside, 4:05 to play. It's 15-14. Wilson leads. .405 to go in the second quarter. Wilson set to kick it back to Mifflin. And again, what a wild first half of football we've had here in Shillington, Pennsylvania, everyone. It's been great so far as both teams continue to throw punches here in this first half. Solid kick from Zollinger this time. Hull backs up on it and starts this run at the 5-yard line. Across the 20, now the 25, and he's brought down shortly there after that. So the Wilson sideline is fired up, and for good reason. Lots of penalties on that last possession, back and forth action. And Gruber on a 2nd down and 21 finds Glover. And then runs one himself for a 1st down. That turned that whole drive upside down. And Glover as well not only made the deflected pass catch, but he caught the bomb over across the middle of the field, one-on-one with Leaf, who you could argue is one of the best defensive players on the Mifflin side of things. And then the penalty and the 2-point conversion. Just so much happening here. It's been a lot of fun, and it certainly will continue. These two teams so evenly matched. 3:58 to go. Now in the second half, or second quarter, I should say, and Grady Gardner now back to work along with Pletz in the backfield. Gardner gets the snap, and he picks up about 2, maybe 3, up close to the 30-yard line.
Check at 3 yards.
It's going to bring up a 2nd down and 7 as the clock continues to wind. And wouldn't surprise me if head coach Nick Morrissey and company try to keep possession of this football throughout the rest of this second quarter. Wilson continues to play like they did on that last possession. They're going to be hard to stop, especially when they're committing their own penalties and backing themselves up and then strike with a lightning type of play. And Gardner's brought down this time around the 30-yard line. No running room there. It's going to bring up a 3rd down and medium. Man, one of the biggest plays of the night so far for the Mifflin offense. Definitely don't want to give the ball back to Wilson with a good amount of time left until half. Still all 3 timeouts remaining for the Bulldogs, and Mifflin with 2 remaining now. Third down and 6 from the 30-yard line. Gardner gets his number called, finds some running room, and he looks to be just shy of the 1st down.
Close to the 1st down.
One of the biggest decisions of the game for head coach Nick Morrissey and OC McVecchio. Ish Vargas jogging now onto the football field, number 79. Pletz jogs to the sideline. It looks like Mifflin's going to go for it. Gutsy decision here on offense from the Mifflin Mustangs right now. Under 2 to play in the second quarter. Pletz in the shotgun. We'll see if they actually go for this or possibly just draw them off sides. Pletz, under center. Takes the snap. We have a whistle. And it's going to be a false start against Governor Mifflin. So the Mustangs were definitely going for that. But there's some movement up front. It may have gone against Vargas. Has that look on his face like, why me? Who? So that'll force Travis Jenkins onto the football field, and he'll punt this one back to the Wilson Bulldogs with 1:45 to go here in the first half. We've called games here on the Flagship Network so far this year that have gotten out of hand. Some may disagree with that, but this is going to be one of those games where we figure it'll come right down to the wire and every play matters. Jenkins, good snap, and he runs away, and he's got this boot off. It's going to drop and take a Mifflin kick, and it'll drop and die right around the 30-yard line. So Jenkins playing with fire there in his own backfield. But he's athletic enough to avoid a couple of defenders and boot that one away on the run, especially in the rain. It's pretty hard to do that, so that's a very solid play there from number 4. So Gruber back to work with 1:23 to go until halftime. We'll see if Wilson can get at least in the field goal range before the end of the half. Still a light drizzle here in the second quarter as well. Greer in motion. Gruber back to pass. Clean pocket. Lobs one deep down the field. It's Glover again. He's got it, and he's brought down inside the 35-yard line. Gruber and Glover connect on back-to-back possessions. Clock stops to move the chains. 1:16 to go. Again, all 3 of the timeouts remain for Wilson. First and 10 from the 32. Clock now winds. Under a minute to go in the second quarter. And we have a whistle and a timeout. Mifflin calls time. They'll have 1 remaining. We'll take a quick break. Come right back after this. Gruber set on 1st and 10. Takes the snap. Again, another clean pocket. Will scramble out to the far sideline and dump it off. Greer has it, and he has some running room inside the 20 and now inside the 15-yard line, and he's finally brought down there.
Greer with the reception.
Well, I'll tell you what, I don't know what has gotten into this Wilson offense here in the second half, but on back-to-back drives, they're playing with some swagger, and sometimes you get confidence and momentum, things seem to go your way more often. Glover has been the main man here so far in this first half. He's got 3 massive catches that have not only continued drives for Wilson, but set him up in tremendous territory deep in Mifflin turf. 47 seconds on the game clock. Akings in the backfield. Gruber fires. It's caught and then dropped immediately.
Pass ball is incomplete.
Hull on the tackle, and he breaks up the pass. Clock stops with 40 seconds to go. Again, Wilson leads 15-14. Wilson led 7-0. Mifflin struck back with 2 touchdowns of their own to make it 14-7. And then Wilson scored again off a Greer touchdown, and then Zellinger caught the 2-point conversion after the penalty. Akings gets his number called, charges up the gut, and he's tackled just around the 5-yard line. Clock continues to wind, and now it stops, as I believe Wilson finally uses one of their 3 timeouts, and they do. So we'll keep it here with 33 seconds to go until halftime. And certainly a lot to talk about here on the Flagship Network. Again, Max Kretzula, credit our whole team here in the truck to be able to put this product together, especially in the rain. And we've certainly gotten a treat so far here in the first half. Both sides into it, and for good reason. Give a quick shout out to our sponsors who helped us put all this together in front of a, you could argue, a sellout crowd for the most part here tonight, especially in this weather. Not going to get too much more packed than this. And again, it's not even halftime. Concession stands are full. Bleachers are full on both sides. And if you're a sports fan, you can't ask for much more than this. 2 great teams, 2 teams that are evenly matched. One head coach in his first full season, and Nick Morrissey, and we all know Coach Doug Doms, who's been here for Wilson since 2006. Gruber in the gun. It's 3rd down and 4 from the 5-yard line. Gruber takes a snap. He's back. He's flushed out to his right, and he'll just throw this one away out of bounds. Late penalty marker down in the end zone. Don't want to speculate, but the referees now all coming together. Probably in the area of a hold in the end zone. And it's going to be pass interference against Wilson instead. So basically whatever I say, the opposite usually happens. So we'll just go with that. So that'll back up Wilson further. With 28 seconds to go. Again, they still have 2 timeouts.
With 2 penalties on the team, offense ineligible downfield. That penalty is applied. Offensive pass interference.
Okay, so there's 2 penalties on Wilson. Outside of the offensive pass interference, there was also an ineligible player down the field. That penalty was declined by Mifflin, and they accepted the offensive pass interference. Head coach Nick Morrissey way out off of the sideline to give the referee his decision. Rain picking up a little bit harder now as we near halftime. Wilson in a full-on huddle. Mifflin saying, hey, we're ready to go. And now Mifflin will jog to the near sideline. Next week, a couple of big-time games. Thursday night, I'll be there. Northern Lebanon against Lampeter-Strasburg. We'll see you at 7 o'clock for that kickoff. And then the following night, Friday at 7 p.m., Fleetwood on the road at Warwick. So if you're in the Lancaster area, come on out, support your team. And if it's anything like we've seen so far tonight, you're going to get your money's worth and of course, your time worth overall as well. Feels like an eternity to play this last 2 minutes and change here in the second quarter, but it's definitely going to be worth it for these 2 sidelines, especially when one of them takes the momentum, whether it be a stop or a score on either side, into the locker room. Umbrellas coming out, hoods coming up here on both sidelines. As you can see, the rain now starting to fall just a little bit harder here in Shillington. 3rd down and 19 from the Mifflin 20-yard line.
Mustang 20-yard line.
Last thing you want to do if you're Wilson is turn the football over. Obviously, you're in field goal range. Gruber going deep, near the sideline. Glover, it's incomplete, but there's a flag down on the play, and Glover double covered as he went for the back shoulder catch on the near sideline in the end zone. And it looks to be defensive pass interference. And again, that is indeed the call. Rodriguez and Leaf were there in coverage. Didn't get a number on who it went against specifically, but you really could have picked your poison on that play. So instead of a 3rd down and 19, it'll bring up a 3rd down and 9 from the Mifflin 10-yard line. 22 seconds to go until half. Can Mifflin get a stop, or will Wilson punch it in on this drive? Akins in motion. Gruber handles the low snap. He flushed out of the pocket. Akins, back corner to the end zone. Touchdown!
Touchdown, Bulldogs.
Corral Akins, the leading rusher on this Wilson team. It's ironic because he can do it as well out of the backfield as a pass catcher, and he shows you why right there.
Bulldogs touchdown, Akins.
Well, credit Gruber. He's showing some poise in the pocket, and he's flushed out and simply just being more athletic than his opponents. He's able to keep plays alive. And it's Akins who catches that pass in the back corner of the end zone. Zollinger on for the extra point. It's away. And it's good. 22-14 with 16 seconds to go until halftime. Stick with us, Max Gretzula here in Shillington, Pennsylvania.
Wilson's upcoming slate of games. First game coming up this Saturday.
The slammer takes
He was much more serious than I expected.
All right.
Well, it wasn't an invite. You invited yourself.
No, we were just like, hey, are we doing this? I'm like, yeah, sure, let's do this. Let's do it early this
Wilson
time.
alum and Super Bowl champion Chad Penn.
Thanks for having me, guys.
For the time period you played in, there weren't a lot of losses to talk about when you were on the team.
Oh man, yeah, we didn't lose often.
I just think that each year, you get a different group of kids with different personalities, different ways that they learn, and it's that challenge that you continue to.
Telling me that this is really work. So we'll see about that. We'll know in a few weeks.
So hopefully we will have lots and lots of interviews for you throughout the next couple months.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we all have been treated to some high-level football here so far tonight. 22-14 your score off of the A-Kings touchdown on the last drive. And we talked about right before the half who's going to carry the momentum into the locker room. Right now, odds-on favorite is obviously Wilson after that last possession. Zollinger set to boot this one back to Mifflin. Again, Wilson trailed 14-7 at one point. And just like that, a miscommunication as Hull just has to dive on it. And that should all about limit an opportunity to get into field goal range for the Mustangs. So Pletz and company backed up deep into their own territory with 16 seconds to go. And I would expect a knee from Pletz heading into the locker room. Ball's placed on the 2-yard line. Plutz now jogging onto the field. Plutz might not even have enough room to take a knee. Instead, he'll take a QB sneak, charge forward for some breathing room, and he's still not down, and he works his way across the 5, now down around the 7-yard line, and that should take us to half. A little bit of pushing and shoving after the play. I think Plutz didn't like the fact that he had a bunch of white jerseys trying to rip his head off. And still some guys going at it. Play clock and game clock both read 0. So that's it as far as football is concerned here in the first half, but not it for the pushing and shoving. 22-14 your score at the half. You're not going to want to miss the second half, and it'll come your way next right here from Shillington, Pennsylvania. It's Max Gretzula. It's the Flagship Network. It's Berks County football here on a Friday night.
Wilson's upcoming slate of games. First game coming up this Saturday.
The slammer takes
He was much more serious than I expected.
All right.
Well, it wasn't an invite. You invited yourself.
No, we were just like, hey, are we doing this? I'm like, yeah, sure, let's do this. Let's do it early this
Wilson
time.
alum and Super Bowl champion Chad Penn.
Thanks for having me, guys.
For the time period you played in, there weren't a lot of losses to talk about when you were on the team.
Oh man, yeah, we didn't lose often.
I just think that each year, you get a different group of kids with different personalities, different ways that they learn, and it's that challenge that you continue to.
Telling me that this is going to work. So we'll see about that. We'll know in a few weeks.
So hopefully we will have lots and lots of interviews for you throughout the next couple months.
Welcome to the Why I'm Missing Restaurant and Bakery, where we have a range of options to suit any taste. We are a family-friendly establishment offering a welcoming atmosphere for any occasion or a casual outing. Join us for our weekday breakfast buffet from 7 to 10 a.m. or our weekday brunch buffet from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Want to bring the family out for a weekend brunch? Join us on Saturday and Sunday for our grand weekend brunch buffet from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. The Why I'm Missing Restaurant and Bakery, located at 1245 Penn Avenue in Wyomissing.
Did you know one of the nation's top surgical hospitals is right here in Berks County? At the Surgical Institute of Reading, our physicians take ownership of their patients' care. Our award-winning clinical teams have a vested interest in the quality care you receive. We use the latest state-of-the-art equipment to assist our surgeons in a wide variety of specialty areas. There is a better option for your care. Surgical Institute of Reading. Discover for yourself what sets us apart.
UECU is a credit union that understands Pennsylvania, what it means to grow up here, raise a family, start a business. And we're committed to being your financial partner for life. With competitive rates, exclusive member discounts, and modern technology, UECU offers personalized banking that will make you feel right at home. Visit bankingforpa.org and sign up for UECU membership through our partner association, the Pennsylvania Consumer Council. UECU, banking that understands home.
Welcome back, everyone. 22-14 is your halftime score. Wilson leads Governor Mifflin. It's been a back-and-forth battle, 7-0 Wilson to open this ballgame, and then Mifflin scored 2 unanswered touchdowns to go up 14-7. But since then, Wilson has made a run of their own. It's 22-14 at the half. Again, Max Gretzel on the call for the Flagship Network. What a game it's been so far. If you're a fan of football, if you're a fan of Wilson or Mifflin, you have some positives to think about, and you have some negatives to think about as well. The penalties certainly come up when you think about Wilson and moving the football backwards. But then on the positive side of things, they have the talent and the athleticism to move the football forward, and multiple players on that Wilson offense scoring touchdowns here tonight so far. On the other side of the field, you have Governor Mifflin, who's moved the football well on the ground. Grady Gardner, we know he was going to get fed, and he has been, and he's produced at a pretty high level so far. The play calling on the drive in the second half for Governor Mifflin worked to perfection. A lot of misdirection, and it resulted in a touchdown. And at that point, Governor Mifflin was in the driver's seat 14-7. Wilson has Maddox Gruber at their quarterback position. And listen, he's just a more athletic and lethal quarterback than Pletz. Doesn't mean Mifflin can't come back and win this football game. We saw them have a lead early on, but Gruber really able to extend plays. It's one of the main reasons why they were able to keep those drives going and also take advantage of some Mifflin penalties, especially when they got on their heels. So we'll see what happens in the second half. It's going to be fun. And if it's anything like the first half, we're in for a treat here. So stick with us. Kickoff coming up here in the third quarter right after this.
Wilson's upcoming slate of games. First game coming up this Saturday.
The slammer takes
He was much more serious than I expected.
All right.
Well, it wasn't an invite, you invited yourself.
No, we were just like, hey, are we doing this? I'm like, yeah, sure, let's do this. Let's do it early this
Wilson
time.
alum and Super Bowl champion Chad Penn.
Thanks for having me, guys.
For the time period you played in, there weren't a lot of losses to talk about when you were on the team.
Oh man, yeah, we didn't lose often.
I just think that each year, you get a different group of kids with different personalities, different ways that they learn, and it's that challenge that you continue to
tell me that this is really work. So we'll see about that. We'll know in a few weeks.
So hopefully we will have lots and lots of interviews for you throughout the next couple months.
Welcome to the Why I'm Missing Restaurant and Bakery, where we have a range of options to suit any taste. We are a family-friendly establishment offering a welcoming atmosphere for any occasion or a casual outing. Join us for our weekday breakfast buffet from 7 to 10 a.m. or our weekday brunch buffet from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Want to bring the family out for a weekend brunch? Join us on Saturday and Sunday for our grand weekend brunch buffet from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. The Why I'm Missing Restaurant and Bakery, located at 1245 Penn Avenue in Wyomissing.
Did you know one of the nation's top surgical hospitals is right here in Berks County? At the Surgical Institute of Reading, our physicians take ownership of their patients' care. Our award-winning clinical teams have a vested interest in the quality care you receive. We use the latest state-of-the-art equipment to assist our surgeons in a wide variety of specialty areas. There is a better option for your care. Surgical Institute of Reading. Discover for yourself what sets us apart.
UECU is a credit union that understands Pennsylvania, what it means to grow up here, raise a family, start a business. And we're committed to being your financial partner for life. With competitive rates, exclusive member discounts, and modern technology, UECU offers personalized banking that will make you feel right at home. Visit bankingforpa.org and sign up for UECU membership through our partner association, the Pennsylvania Consumer Council. UECU, banking that understands home.
Wilson's upcoming slate of games. First game coming up this Saturday.
The slammer takes
He was much more serious than I expected.
All right.
Well, it wasn't an invite, you invited yourself.
No, we were just like, hey, are we doing this? I'm like, yeah, sure, let's do this. Let's do it early this
Wilson
time.
alum and Super Bowl champion Chad Penn.
Thanks for having me, guys.
For the time period you played in, there weren't a lot of losses to talk about when you were on the team.
Oh man, yeah, we didn't lose often.
I just think that each year, you get a different group of kids with different personalities, different ways that they learn, and it's that challenge that you continue to
telling me that this is going to work. So we'll see about that. We'll know in a few weeks.
So hopefully we will have lots and lots of interviews for you throughout the next couple months.
Welcome to the Why I'm Missing Restaurant and Bakery, where we have a range of options to suit any taste. We are a family-friendly establishment offering a welcoming atmosphere for any occasion or a casual outing. Join us for our weekday breakfast buffet from 7 to 10 a.m. or our weekday brunch buffet from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Want to bring the family out for a weekend brunch? Join us on Saturday and Sunday for our grand weekend brunch buffet from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. The Why I'm Missing Restaurant and Bakery, located at 1245 Penn Avenue in Wyomissing.
Did you know one of the nation's top surgical hospitals is right here in Berks County? At the Surgical Institute of Reading, our physicians take ownership of their patients' care. Our award-winning clinical teams have a vested interest in the quality care you receive. We use the latest state-of-the-art equipment to assist our surgeons in a wide variety of specialty areas. There is a better option for your care. Surgical Institute of Reading. Discover for yourself what sets us apart.
Welcome back, everyone. Second half action. Going to get started in just a matter of moments. Mifflin was out of the locker room quickly, and Wilson came out relatively late, so they added a couple extra minutes onto the halftime clock.
50-50 number.
Anxious to see how both of these teams respond after a first half of play. That was a back-and-forth battle. Don't expect anything different here in the third and fourth quarters.
6-7-9-5-3. That price can be claimed at the Brewster's concession stand.
Again, Wilson won the toss at the beginning of this game. They received to start. So Mifflin will get possession of the football to open this third quarter. And we'll have to get the ground game going with Grady Gardner and company to maintain in this football game. Doesn't look like anyone has left this stadium since the half, and why would they? It's going to be a great second half. We're excited to get it underway. Shout out to everyone that's put this broadcast together. Again, our fifth game here on the Flagship Network, and it's only going to get better from here. Zollner getting set to boot this one back to Mifflin. And Pletz will go back onto the football field to try to lead the charge down 22-14. Again, talked about the weather in the opening, how it possibly would play a factor. It didn't do so much in the first quarter, but a muffed punt and then a muffed return as well from Wilson set up Mifflin in plus territory. And they were able to come away with the score, but they don't have the advantage on the scoreboard currently. And Zollner boots a low liner, and it's picked up pretty quickly. Jenkins has it across the 30-yard line, and he's brought down just past there at the 32. So that's what this drive will start as Pletz jogs onto the field. And him, Gardner, and the rest of the Mifflin offense going to try to light a spark after having a 14-7 lead at one point in the first half. Pletz, the quarterback, number 2. Completely different skill set than Maddox Gruber, but very effective in each of their ways. 1st and 10 from the 31. Gardner in the backfield. Pletz under center, takes the snap, pitches it to Gardner, and he's blown up immediately.
In the backfield, loss of 5.
Christo Hunsinger on the tackle, and it'll bring up a 2nd down and long. Gardner had a very similar play in the first half. Deep in Wilson territory that he scored a touchdown on the pitch play, not that time. And it'll bring up a 2nd down and 14 from the 27-yard line. Jenkins, who returned the kickoff, now jogs back onto the field. Dantali and Leaf come off. Johnson spread out wide to the bottom of your screen. Jenkins in the slot. Pletz back to pass on 2nd and 14, deep down the left sideline and over the head and out of bounds of Dantali.
That pass was incomplete, intended for Murray.
So now, just like that, it'll bring up a 3rd down and 14. Not what you want to see if you're head coach Nick Morrissey coming out of the locker room, especially the way Wilson was driving on offense to end that second quarter. Murray now jogs off onto the field. And what does the OC, McVecchio, have drawn up here on 3rd down? Three wide receivers set to the near sideline. It's Johnson, Hull, and Jenkins. And we have a whistle and some movement up front before the snap. It's going to be a false start. So back Mifflin up 5 more yards. And it'll bring up a 3rd down and 19. Two evenly matched teams. Again, if you're just joining us, this is the 67th time overall Mifflin has met Wilson. Wilson won a season ago, 21-14. And it's been a very similar type battle here a year later in 2024. So again, 3 wide receivers to the bottom. Very similar setup before the penalty. It's a screen pass to Johnson, and it's batted down at the line of scrimmage.
Pass is batted down, 4th down.
Gaston blows the play up before it can get started. And just like that, it'll be a 3 and out for the Mifflin offense. Wilson sideline. And student body who traveled on the road here to Mifflin Stadium starting to let the home crowd hear it. Jenkins on to punt it away. A-King's back to return for Wilson. Again, Mifflin led this game 14-7 at one point in the first half, but it's been a different story since then. Pretty solid punt. It takes a Mifflin hop, and it's touchdown around the 36-yard line, and that's where this drive will start for Maddox Gruber as he now leads his offense back onto the field.
First and 10 Bulldogs from their own 36-yard line.
The Bulldogs will set up shop on their own 36-yard line. We've seen Gruber hit 3 different receivers make it 4 in that first half. Greer has 2 receptions. Glover has 3. All 3 of them have been for massive gains. A-Kings with 2 as well. One of them out of the backfield for a touchdown. Gruber in the gun on 1st and 10. Gruber's been a little bit more decisive there towards the end of that second quarter, and he takes a snap. It's a direct run, and he's up the gut for a pretty solid gain near midfield. He's finally brought down by Travis Jenkins.
At the Bulldog 49-yard line.
So move the chains. It'll be a 1st down and 10 from the 49-yard line. 10:30 continues to tick away here early stages of the third quarter. Gruber again, right to him. He'll run up the gut, and he's got another healthy gain as he breaks free momentarily across the 40-yard line and brought down just before the 35. Maddox Gruber doing it through the air and on the ground. And we'll move the chains yet again. Wilson has another 1st down into Mustang territory. We saw Gruber early on in that first quarter very indecisive at the line of scrimmage, calling extra protection and trying to figure out where the blitz is coming from. But now, as he breaks free yet again down the far sideline and out of bounds around the 20-yard line, he's playing with even more swagger at this point. Again, the two-sport athlete, basketball and football, and he plays both at a high level. Weird to see Mifflin come out of the locker room and have no momentum on offense, and the defense now just looks a little tired. And again, it's weird to see that, especially on their first defensive possession of the second half, as Gruber calls his own number yet again, makes a couple of men miss, and we have a late penalty marker thrown on the play. Gruber back to the line of scrimmage. And we'll see what the call is. So it'll be a hold against Wilson. So it'll back them up 10 yards. Derek Ringinger, the guilty party. And that's the first blimp on a pretty solid drive, obviously, to start this third quarter for the Bulldogs. Ball's on the 33-yard line of Mifflin. A-Kings in motion. And he gets the carry, turns the corner on the far sideline, and he's knocked out of bounds in front of his own bench around the 25.
Akins on the right side to the Mustang 25.
That'll bring up a 2nd down and 13 from the Mustangs' 25-yard line. Empty backfield for Gruber. A-Kings in the slot to the near sideline. Glover goes in motion. Gruber calls his own number. He's got nowhere to go, and he's bottled up and brought down. Massive tackle there on the play by Leaf.
Tully in the backfield.
And have to credit Tully for that tackle. My apologies, as he blew up the play in the backfield. Under 9 to go here in the third quarter. Again, this drive started on Wilson's own 36-yard line. They're now on the 29 of Mifflin. Gruber able to handle the pass. Looks opposite and finds his man. Carpenter, who has a touchdown already, has another one. And Wilson has thrown yet another dagger in the backs of Mifflin fans here on the road. It's 28-14 pending an extra point. Well, we saw something very similar in that first quarter on the opposite side of the field. It was a screen pass to Carpenter off the hands of Gruber, and he turned the corner on that possession. Didn't really need too much as far as maneuvering goes as he jogged right into the end zone on the right side of the field. On this drive, he had to make a couple of men miss, and he shows you the speed on display. 3 different Bulldogs have scored a touchdown here tonight. Hunsaker on for the extra point. It's up, and it's good. He's a perfect 4 of 4 here tonight. 29-14 your score. 8:35 to play in the third quarter. We'll be right back after this.
Wilson's upcoming slate of games. First game coming up this Saturday.
The slammer takes
He was much more serious than I expected.
All right.
Well, it wasn't an invite. You invited yourself.
No, we were just like, hey, are we doing this? I'm like, yeah, sure, let's do this. Let's do it early this
Wilson
time.
alum and Super Bowl champion Chad Penn.
Thanks for having me, guys.
For the time period you played in, there weren't a lot of losses to talk about when you were on the team.
Oh man, yeah, we didn't lose often.
I just think that each year, you get a different group of kids with different personalities, different ways that they learn, and it's that challenge that you continue to
Telling me that this is going to work. So we'll see about that. We'll know in a few weeks.
So hopefully we will have lots and lots of interviews for you throughout the next couple months.
Zollinger set the kick back to Reese Hull and the Mifflin return team. And we'll see again if they're able to muster some sort of offense, I should say, on this next possession. Pretty solid boot there from Zollinger. And it's going to be a touchback. Ball come out to the 20-yard line again. 20-yard line in high school, 25 in college, 30 now at the pros for a touchback. During that most recent timeout, the Wilson faithful broke out a "Why so quiet" chant. And now it's Mifflin's turn to try to answer and turn the momentum back in their favor. First and 10 from the 20-yard line of the Mustangs. Pletz will go under center. Gardner in the backfield. Gardner will get the carry, and he turns his way up ahead for 3, maybe 4 yards on first down. It'll bring up a second down and medium.
Herb with the tackle.
2nd and 7 to be exact on the 23-yard line. Johnson spread out wide. Tully at the tight end position on the near sideline. Gardner in the backfield yet again. Same play. This time Pletz will keep, and he's got some running room past the 30. Now the 35 cuts it up, and he's shy of the 40-yard line as he's brought down there.
First down, Mustangs.
So again, the misdirection works in the favor of Governor Mifflin. And they give themselves some more breathing room as they charge towards Wilson territory. Well, as we go through this third and fourth quarters, it's going to be the ground game, of course, that's going to tell the story for Governor Mifflin. Grady Gardner came into this ball game with 120 carries in 5 games. He's been fed healthy at a high level again here tonight. Pletz dancing in the backfield, trying to escape some pressure to the near sideline, cuts it back upfield, making multiple men miss, and he's finally brought down just around the line of scrimmage, maybe lost a yard. Surprisingly, no holding penalties as Pletz was running in circles in that backfield for a long period of time.
Pletz loses a yard.
So when it's all said and done, it's a loss of 1. That'll bring up a second down and 11 from the 38-yard line, under 7 to play in the third quarter. Johnson again spread out wide. He's got the size mismatch there on A-Kings, but he hasn't been targeted yet here tonight. We'll see if that changes as we go through this second half. Pletz will hand to Gardner. And there's not much room to work with as he's brought down late, and there's a penalty marker. And maybe two, as the second one came out late. Again, these crosstown rivals won't give up any room. And for obvious reasons, as the refs meet, we'll see what the call is. Obviously, we have a late takedown on Gardner. That has to be one. We'll see if there's a second, as the second penalty marker came out a little bit later. I don't know if one of the refs saw something after the play was over. So all in all, it's a personal foul on the defense. It'll be a 15-yard penalty. And Mifflin will walk deeper and deeper towards Mifflin territory and make that into Wilson territory, as the ball will be placed on the Bulldogs' 45-yard line. So not too much room to work with so far from Gardner. We know he's the star player in the backfield. He's been that way all season long for the 3-2 Mustangs. But they have to take advantage of these penalties from Wilson to stay in this ball game. We'll see if they can do so right here. It's 1st and 10 from the 45. After the personal foul penalty, Pletz will keep it himself. Will turn the corner to the 40, now 35, 30, Pletz, 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown Mifflin. Just like that, lightning strikes.
45 yards, Skipper.
(29-20) pending the extra point. And there's a momentum swing the Mustangs needed here in the third quarter. And Mifflin says, forget the extra point. We'll go for two. That's what Wilson did earlier on in that first half. And they converted off a catch from Zollinger. We'll see if Mifflin can convert. Pletz under center. It's a QB sneak. He's up the middle. Did he get in? Body's still pushing. No signal yet. And the ball came loose. A-Kings charging the other way. And we have whistles as the Wilson sideline. And their faithful boos away. Nevertheless, Pletz unable to get the 2 yards needed for the 2-point conversion. And it remains a 2-possession game. That's a head-scratching move from the Mifflin sideline and coaching staff, obviously. We'll step aside and be right back after this.
Did you know one of the nation's top surgical hospitals is right here in Berks County? At the Surgical Institute of Reading, our physicians take ownership of their patients' care. Our award-winning clinical teams have a vested interest in the quality care you receive. We use the latest state-of-the-art equipment to assist our surgeons in a wide variety of specialty areas. There is a better option for your care. Surgical Institute of Reading. Discover for yourself what sets us apart.
.609 to play in the third quarter. It's 29-20. Wilson leads after a missed 2-point conversion by Mifflin. It remains a 2-possession game as Jenkins boots it back to the Bulldogs. A-Kings handles the return. He's got some running room. We have a late flag down as he's tackled right before the 50-yard line, pending the penalty.
Flag on the play.
Well, A-Kings is the leading rusher for the Wilson Bulldogs so far this season, but he's done damage here tonight at an even higher level from the returning position. And We have a hold on Wilson, so wipe away the big return from A-Kings. Well, in a game like this, when we have two very evenly matched teams, every coaching decision will be scrutinized, and Coach Nick Morrissey may have to answer some questions after the game is over. Whether or not his team loses or wins, still to be determined, but I think most people would have probably just taken the extra point there and made it an 8-point game instead of the risk. But nevertheless, we are where we are, 29-20. Bulldogs leading and in possession of the football. Gruber in the gun. A-Kings goes in motion. Takes the carry, tries the near sideline, no running room, and Jenkins comes up with the tackle around the 20-yard line.
Jenkins and Leaf.
Leaf was on pursuit as well.
For the tackle.
And that'll bring up a second down and long. Finally, the Mifflin defense creates a negative play. Second down and 11 from the 20-yard line of the Bulldogs. Saw this multiple times in that first half, but Gruber was able to do some damage, create plays with his legs, extend drives, and it's one of the main reasons why they were able to come away with two late scores in that second quarter. So look out for number 14 in the white jersey. Gruber clears the backfield. Zollinger to his left. He goes in motion. Man-to-man coverage. Not an empty box either. We'll see if Mifflin brings pressure here on second and long, trying to force Gruber out of the pocket. Gruber steps up, escapes some pressure. He's going to run. A defender falls past the 35, now the 40. Still on his feet to the 50-yard line. Maddox, Gruber making men miss. He's still going. 40, 35, 30. Maddox, Gruber. He's tackled inside the 20-yard line, and he's fired up for good reason.
14.
That's a man's run from the Wilson quarterback. .432 and counting. First and 10 from the 18-yard line. Empty backfield yet again. Gruber continues to call his own number. He'll do so yet again, and this time there's not much to work with.
Gruber, gain of 2.
That will not be the last time you see Gruber's run. I'm certainly not tonight, and of course, not this week. I'm sure a lot of the students will be talking about that one on Monday morning. Second and 8. Ball's on the 16-yard line. 4 wide receivers set. Mifflin bringing some pressure. Gruber steps up, finds his man. Who finds the end zone? It's Glover.
Touchdown. Flag on the play.
And we have a late flag down on the field. The Mifflin defense brought an extra man on the blitz. Gruber got rid of the ball quickly. And the touchdown is good after the play. We have an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty on the defense. So the play stands. Penalty will be assessed on the kickoff. And Zollinger now on for the extra point to try to extend the Wilson lead to 16 with 3:37 to play in the third. Maddox Gruber with Lamar Jackson type moves here in the third. Boot is up, and it's good. 36-20 your score. It's not over yet. Can Mifflin answer? We'll see right after this. .37 to go in the third. And when it's all said and done, depending on the outcome of this game, if Wilson wins, it'll be because they have Maddox Gruber and Mifflin doesn't. Because he's done it with his legs tonight. He's done it with his arm as well. 3 touchdown passes and one of the most spectacular runs you'll see this season here in Berks County. Yeah, and can't discredit him making 4 touchdown passes, 2 to Carpenter. Greer had one as well, and it almost was like an onside kick attempt there. And Mifflin will have possession.
Mustangs cover the onside kick.
And when it's all said and done here, as I look at the stats in front of me, trying to catch my breath, it's 5 touchdown passes, 2 to Carpenter, 1 to A-Kings, 2 to Glover, and 1 to Greer as well. And we remember that one on the near sideline, the second effort to get into the end zone. So it's been the Maddox Gruber game so far, but Pletz is playing at a high level himself on the opposite side as he came up with a massive touchdown run of his own on the last possession. Gardner gets fed. It's a mini gain as he's tackled around the 35-yard line. And so much has happened in this one so far. It's been a lot of fun. We know the fans here are enjoying it. We hope you guys watching as well are.
With the tackle.
And still a lot of football to be played as the rain has died down here in Shillington, Pennsylvania. The ground game continues to be the go-to plan for the Mifflin offense. Johnson spread out wide. Man-to-man coverage still on A-Kings. Pletz back to pass, and it's in the no-man's land and intercepted. It's A-Kings. Just like that, you call his name, and he produces. He's going to take this one to the house. A pick 6 for Corral A-Kings. And just like that, this game has been turned upside down. And the Mifflin faithful starting to head for the exits. Late stages of this third quarter. Cameron Zollinger on for the extra point. And with that being said, Wilson has now doubled up. Mifflin on the scoreboard, 42-20. And Zollinger looking to make it 43. Kick is up, and it's good. Zollinger makes it look easy out there. 43-20, your score, 2:50 to play in the third. We'll step aside and be right back after this.
Wilson's upcoming slate of games. First game coming up this Saturday.
The slammer takes
He was much more serious than I expected.
All right.
Well, it wasn't an invite. You invited yourself.
No, we were just like, hey, are we doing this? I'm like, yeah, sure, let's do this. Let's do it early this
Wilson
time.
alum and Super Bowl champion Chad Penn.
Thanks for having me, guys.
For the time period you played in, there weren't a lot of losses to talk about when you were on the team.
Oh man, yeah, we didn't lose often.
I just think that each year, you get a different group of kids with different personalities, different ways that they learn, and it's that challenge that you continue to.
Tell me that this is going to work. So we'll see about that. We'll know in a few weeks.
So hopefully we will have lots and lots of interviews for you throughout the next couple months.
Corell A-Kings with a pick six and a couple of massive returns in the special teams game have given Wilson a 23-point lead late stages of the third quarter, and Zollinger set to boot this one back to Reese Hall and company of Mifflin. Kick is away. It's a short one, and it's muffed. Mifflin able to fall on it around the 20-yard line. And that's where this drive will start.
Flag on the play.
The late flag down. And we'll wait to see what the call is. Nevertheless, if you're a Mifflin fan, obviously your strength is the run game, but when you're down 23 late in the third, it's not the best strategy play, but if you're Pletz, who's coming off the pick six, I have to assume he's a little rattled throwing the football. So we'll see if Coach Vecchio draws up some easy plays for the Mifflin quarterback. So we have two personal fouls, one against each team. So the penalties will all offset, and this drive will start from the Mifflin 21-yard line with 2:47 to play in the third quarter. It's 1st and 10. Pletz coming off a pick six. We'll see if he's able to stay poised and keep his team in it. Hall in the backfield along with Gardner. Gardner gets his number called. He's up across the 25-yard line and brought down around the 26. And it's a 5-yard pickup on first down.
Gardner on the carry. Get 4.
You credit the Wilson defense so far. They've neutralized Grady Gardner, who has been arguably the best running back in Berks County all season long. And he hasn't produced one of those fantastic type performances that we've seen so far this season. Again, Gardner's had 2 games this year with 4+ touchdowns. And they've only played 5, so it's super impressive, obviously. Second down, Gardner gets his number called again. And it's another small gain as he's brought down around the 28-yard line. We'll bring up a third down and short.
29.
Nobody on that Wilson sideline. And the student body and really the fans in general have left. Johnson and Jenkins spread out wide to the near sideline. Hull and Garner in the backfield. Pletz under center. 3rd and 2 on the 29-yard line. Gardner gets his number called. Finds a hole. He's off to the races. Over midfield and brought down around the 49-yard line. Finally, Grady Gardner is able to find some running room. As the clock continues to wind here in the third quarter, Mifflin again trying to stay in this ball game. And the clock is stopped not only to move the chains, but because we have an injured Bulldog on the play. So 1:31 to go in the third quarter. We'll take a quick timeout. Stay with us. You don't want to miss the end of this. 1:23. Clock continues to wind here in the third quarter. It's first down and 10 from the 50-yard line after the Grady Gardner run up the gut. Hall in the backfield. Gardner just in front of him. Pletz back to pass. Screen. And it's Jenkins across midfield. Still going. 30. Cuts it back upfield. He's surrounded by 6 white jerseys and brought down just inside the 30-yard line.
First and 10 Mustangs.
So Jenkins off the slant, not the screen. Able to create some space for himself as Mifflin charges deeper into Wilson territory. Under a minute to go in the third. And we'll see how quickly Mifflin can do some damage on this possession. They continue to run the same formation. Jenkins in the slot. Gardner and Hall in the backfield. Gardner gets his name called, breaks free. Couple of bodies trying to drag him down. It's not going to just be one. It always takes a couple. And just like that, Gardner's brought down around the 10-yard line. Under 30 to play. We'll see if Wilson is able to wall up here, or will the Mustangs run at least one more play before time expires here in the third quarter. It looks like they will. Gardner again, up the field, cuts it back, and he's brought down. Did he lose the football? He may have lost it. Oh, disaster strikes. And Wilson comes away with the football.
Flag on the play.
There is a flag down. But Grady Gardner, some of the surest hands in the entire county, lost the football inside of the 10. Unbelievable. We have an injured Bulldog on the play and a flag as well. We'll see what the call is. But it doesn't get more clear than that. The fumble and the recovery by Wilson. So after the play was over, it's going to be an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty on Wilson after the celebration of the fumble recovery. Mifflin created some momentum, and now you can hear a pin drop on their sideline for obvious reasons. 7 seconds to go in the third quarter. Feels like the air has just been sucked out of the building after such an amazing drive from Pletz especially. And not only that, but Gardner just being able to have one of his type of drives that we've seen so many times already this season. Chunk play after chunk play, and Pletz had a nice solid throw on the slant route to Jenkins. It all seemed to be working to perfection. But now the defense is tasked with stopping the Wilson offense that has put up 43 points here tonight. Gardner in discussion with his head coach, Nick Morrissey, on the sideline. And I think what he's telling him is to continue to charge forward and not get too cute. He's hard to bring down. We know that. It's an understatement, as he seems to always break away from the first tackler, and he always wins those one-on-one matchups. I'm sure he's eager to get back out there. Keep it on the ground here. A-Kings tries the far sideline, and he's bumped out of bounds around the 25-yard line. 0.7 seconds on the game clock.
Aikens, first down.
So just like that, Wilson creates some space for themselves in their own territory. And the clock runs out here in the third quarter. Well, we've seen a little bit of everything so far here tonight. Interceptions, penalties, turnovers. I mean, overall, it's been a fantastic game. It'll be a battle until the end, and it's not over yet. 43-20 your score. We have 1 quarter of play. Stay with us, and stay with us next week, Thursday. Lampeter, Stroudsburg, Northern Lebanon. I'll be there on the call for that one. Excited for it. And it's a doubleheader weekend for myself and the team here that's always put on some fantastic performances and production behind the scenes that no one out there really gets to see. Twin Valley, who's the #1 team in the state of Pennsylvania, they'll be at home yet again, and they're just beating the you-know-what out of teams right now. Shout out to our sponsors as well. Couldn't be able to do this, or wouldn't be able to do this, of course, without them. And it's been one of the better games of the season so far here tonight. Again, Mifflin was leading this game 14-7. Continue to harp on that because it looked like they had all the momentum going after the touchdown by Pletz, who has 2 so far here tonight, both on the ground. But the pick 6 really was arguably the biggest dagger so far here tonight, and sometimes you just have to tip your cap to the other team when they're playing well, and that's exactly what Maddox Gruber has done here tonight. 1st and 10 from the 16, pitch it out to A-Kings, looking for a hole, and he's bottled up pretty quickly after a gain of about 2, maybe 3. A-Kings with a pick 6 on the last possession. Hasn't gotten his number called too much tonight at the tailback spot, but Wilson, of course, wants to run some clock here, up 23 points in the 4th. So I would assume a lot of A-Kings is coming your way here in the next 11-plus minutes. A-Kings now to the left of Gruber. 2nd and 8 from the 18-yard line. And it looks like Mifflin jumped up front. Indeed, an offside penalty. Noah Brewitt jumped over a little early. And that'll move the football up 5 more yards. We'll bring up a 3rd down and 3 from the 23-yard line. A-Kings keeps him on the ground. 30, 35, across the 40-yard line now, and we have a late flag on the play. And it's going to come back. It's going to be holding against the Bulldogs. So many different storylines inside of the game here tonight, as you have the call there, the hold on the offensive line. But one of them, outside of the fact that Wilson has been playing such a great game on offense, even defense as well to some degree, but it's been the penalties that Mifflin has not capitalized off of on both sides of the football, but especially on defense when Wilson commits a penalty. It's been a couple of personal fouls, a couple of holds. It's been Gruber that's been able to dig Wilson out of the hole in their own territory. 2nd down and 12 from the 14. Gruber has an empty backfield. Takes the snap, and he's got a clean pocket. Dancing around. Now he'll run to the far sideline and cut it back upfield. Dangerous play if you're a quarterback. I don't think Coach Doms wants Gruber taking too many more hits. Probably wants him to just run out of bounds on that play. And Gruber, on that note, slow to get up. Never want your quarterback taking hits in general, but up 23 in the 4th quarter. It's the last thing you want to see if you're Coach Doms and company. Bring up a 3rd down and 6 from the 20. Mifflin needing to get off the football field on 3rd down right here. Zollinger out to the right of Gruber. A-Kings goes in motion. He'll try the near sideline, trying to turn the corner, and he does. Across the 30 and knocked out of bounds around the 35-yard line. It's a Wilson 1st down, and that'll move the chains.
Bulldogs from their own 35-yard line. Akins with the carry.
1st and 10 from the 35-yard line of Wilson. 9:30 to go in the 4th quarter. Greer in motion. Pistol formation. Gruber takes the snap, fakes the handoff, and Zollinger has it. And finds some running room and picks up about 10 on the far sideline.
Flag on the play.
There's a flag on the play. Yet another personal foul. This time it's going to go against the defense. And the time's running out here for Governor Mifflin to make a comeback. Certainly a lot of plays you can look back on, that is, if you're a Mifflin fan. But not being able to get off the field on third down has certainly played a big role here in this football game. And on third down and 6, it's A-Kings able to turn the corner, get upfield for a Bulldogs first down to keep this drive going and to keep that clock winding. Under 9 to play now in the fourth quarter. Zollinger in motion to the left of Gruber. Here comes Greer. Greer takes the handoff, cuts it upfield, and he's brought down inside of the 40-yard line, maybe the 35.
Gain of 4.
Pickup of about 4 yards. It'll bring up a second down and 6 from the 36-yard line. Mifflin faithful. At least some have cleared out, about half full on the near sideline of the home team. Greer tries the near sideline this time, cuts it upfield inside of the 25-yard line and brought down there. There's a flag on the play, and this one might be coming back. Could have been a hold out in the open field. I could say the rain has officially stopped. And we'll see what the penalty is. Again, it was the second down at 6 play and another healthy gain on the ground by the Wilson offense, but it is a hold, and it will come back. So with 7:59 to play, another opportunity for Mifflin to get off of the football field and at least give their offense another shot at scoring. 2nd and 10 from the Mifflin 40-yard line. A lot of motion on the Wilson offense. And it's hard to stop when you have so many playmakers. Empty backfield to start for Gruber. Screens on. And it's Carpenter, who already has 2 touchdowns tonight, bottled up.
Jenkins with a tackle.
Credit Jenkins with the tackle to bring up a 3rd down and long. 3rd down and 9 exactly from the 39-yard line of Mifflin.
Third and 9. Mustang 39-yard line.
Wilson has won this matchup 2 years in a row. 2022 winning 32-14. 2023 winning 21-14. And on their way to a 3rd straight victory in this series.
Gruber's pass falls incomplete. 4th down.
Gruber's pass is incomplete. Intended for A-Kings. And it'll bring up a 4th down and 9. Well, you have to like what you've seen from Maddox Gruber here tonight, doing it with his legs and with his arm. And a true dual threat quarterback at that. With a win, Wilson would move to 5-1. Their only loss being a narrow one at that to Nazareth back in week 2. Hull set to return this punt. Bounces around the 15-yard line and stops around the 10. And that's where this drive will start for Pletz
First and 10.
and the Mustangs
Mustangs
offense.
from their own 10-yard line.
Next week, we hope you guys join us. Doubleheader weekend for our team here on the Flagship Network. Northern Lebanon on the road at Lampeter Stroudsburg on Thursday night at 7. And then 24 hours later, it'll be Fleetwood taking on Warwick. You don't want to miss it. It's been a lot of fun all season long. And if you're a sports fan, you've come to the right place. First season, we've been able to bring you guys these live streams. And a wise person once told me, it's always better to watch than listen. First and 10 from the Mifflin 10-yard line. Gardner in the backfield, along with Hull. Pletz takes the snap, hands to Gardner, and again, he's brought down almost immediately. I've gotten a chance to call multiple Mifflin games so far this season, and this is the first time that I've seen Gardner look human in a way. Reese Hull jogs off the field on second down and 10. No gain, I should say, for Gardner on first down. Pletz gives to Gardner yet again. And just like the first opportunity, the second opportunity remains the same. Not too much running room to work with all night long, minus a couple of spring plays from number 24 for Governor Mifflin, Grady Gardner. Under 6 to play in the fourth quarter. And it'll bring up a third down and 3. Or third down and 7, excuse me, after the gain of 3. Pletz under center. Gardner in the backfield by himself. Pletz scrambling away, looking for some help, and he'll just have to heave this one out of bounds towards his own sideline. Well, Wilson played really a complete game here tonight. And if you're a fan of the Lancaster-Lebanon League, they're one of the teams to watch, I'd say, overall. Not only in the county, really, but in the state. I mean, they have the talent to make a deep run here in the postseason as we near the midway point in 2024. Still a long way to go, but they got the talent, they have the skill, and not only that, they have the veterans to be able to go out there, play at a high level, and trust the leaders to continue to produce this season as it rolls on. Jenkins set to punt this one away on fourth down. And he gets it off just barely. It'll take a Mifflin hop, just barely. And it'll be touchdown at the 44-yard line. Tonight will be remembered, at least in my opinion, for Mifflin, as a night that could have been. And I say that because it started out promising, especially on the ground. And we know that's their skill set. It's their bread and butter. And it just wasn't working here tonight on their home turf. A couple of penalty markers down on the punt. 4:44 to go in the fourth. A lot of fours on the scoreboard. The comeback for Wilson after being down 14-7 started with the touchdown pass to Carpenter off the screen. Late stages of the first half, and then he did it again in the third quarter. It was Greer on the screen pass. He was able to maneuver his way into the end zone. And two penalty markers down on the field offsetting. But after that, it was really the Maddox Gruber show along with Glover as well. Found him on multiple occasions for healthy gains. And then, of course, the touchdown pass to Glover over the middle, and then Akins right before halftime in the back corner of the end zone. Referees in long discussion there for a while about both penalties on the field. And as a result, instead of offsetting, Wilson will be backed up. So this drive will start on their own 29-yard line. Gruber will hand off. Akins looking to the opposite sideline. He turns the corner. He's got some space, and he's brought down close to midfield, past the 45-yard line. And with Mifflin having chunk play after chunk play previously coming into tonight, we saw a few of them, but it's been Wilson with the chunk plays so far, both through the air and on the ground. Akins showing what he can do as a rusher. But again, this drive was supposed to start on the 49-yard line. There was 2 penalties on Wilson, backed them up to their own 29-yard line. And just like that, after one play, they're back up to the 46-yard line and get most of that penalty back. 1st and 10 from the 46. Gruber's still in the game, and why not? Pitch to Greer. He'll try the far sideline. He's got a lot of space to work with. He's in the Mifflin territory, and he's brought down out of bounds inside of the 35-yard line.
Hold with a tackle.
Under 4 to go in the fourth. It'll be 1st and 10 from the 33-yard line of Mifflin. And for the Bulldogs, they'll just try to run this clock out. Greer to the left of Gruber. Pitch it out. Try the same play yet again. And another positive gain for Greer. And the rushing attack tonight has been spectacular to watch. Coming into the game, we highlighted Grady Gardner because of the fact that he's arguably the best rusher in the county. But it's been Akins, it's been Greer, and obviously Gruber. All 3 rushing at a high level for the 3-headed monster of the Bulldogs. Gruber will run this play clock all the way down as far as he can. Takes the snap, hands off. Greer this time will try the near sideline, cut it upfield across the 25-yard line and brought down there.
Greer.
Verwitt in on the tackle.
Drew for the tackle. Third and 1.
That'll bring up a 3rd down and 1 from the 24-yard line. Again, Wilson milking the clock as much as they can. Now under 2 to play in the fourth quarter. Greer again to the left of Gruber. You expect another handoff. Greer gets his number called yet again, and this time he's brought down in the backfield.
Loss on the play, 4th down.
That'll bring up 4th down. Coach Dom's leaving the offense on the field to try to get one more first down and officially put the nail in the coffin here of Mifflin tonight if it already hasn't been done. Gruber loses the handle. And he's able to fall back on it. It's not going to matter. It's a turnover on downs. Under a minute to go in the fourth quarter. And I think a lot of questions here have been answered tonight. One, how good is Wilson? I'll tell you what, really good. Able to watch them here in person for the first time. They got a great quarterback, a great trio of wide receivers, a great rushing attack, and that defensive line really showed out tonight, stopping the rushing attack that's been one of the best in Berks County in the Mustangs. On the other side of things, it's back to the drawing board for Governor Mifflin. They'll fall to 3-3 on the season. They've gone back and forth in the win-loss column all season long. So if you're playing the game of numbers with a record of 3-3, they should win their next game. But obviously that remains to be seen. What they'll have to do is try to work that offensive line back into formation and really try to get them going again and get not only that, just their confidence back after pummeling teams. Again, they beat Muhlenberg last Sunday 41-6. Gardner ran all over the Mules in that one. But tonight, when you run into a stone wall like that defensive line that Wilson presents, it can kind of kill your confidence a little bit. So formation's probably not the right word to use, but the confidence is certainly key. Mifflin obviously has the talent to perform at a high level with their rushing attack. And Pletz, as the season goes on, I should say, will continue to be a big part of that. I think in the beginning of the season, at least the first couple of weeks, I know it's still early, but it's been all Grady Gardner. It was at least at that point. Pletz with 2 rushing touchdowns tonight. One went for 30-plus yards. And he'll continue to be called upon to try to lead this Mifflin team to a winning season. That'll do it tonight. 43-20, your final score. Wilson comes away with the victory in the 67th meeting overall. Coach Doug Doms tied for the winningest coach in the history of this matchup. Again, he started as head coach at Wilson in 2006. Both teams shake hands, pay each other respect at midfield. Wilson goes on the road. They put up 43 points against Governor Mifflin, and they come away with the victory. 43-20, your final score. My name is Matt Scretzel. For a whole staff and crew behind the scenes, we'll say so long. From Governor Mifflin High School here, again, Wilson comes away with the victory.
Wilson's upcoming slate of games. First game coming up this Saturday.
The slammer takes
He was much more serious than I expected.
All right.
Well, it wasn't an invite. You invited yourself.
No, we were just like, hey, are we doing this? I'm like, yeah, sure, let's do this. Let's do it early this
Wilson
time.
alum and Super Bowl champion Chad Penn.
Thanks for having me, guys.
For the time period you played in, there weren't a lot of losses to talk about when you were on the team.
Oh man, yeah, we didn't lose often.
I just think that each year, you get a different group of kids with different personalities, different ways that they learn, and it's that challenge that you continue to
Tell me that this is really work. So we'll see about that. We'll know in a few weeks.
So hopefully we will have lots and lots of interviews for you throughout the next couple months.
Welcome to the Why I'm Missing Restaurant and Bakery, where we have a range of options to suit any taste. We are a family-friendly establishment offering a welcoming atmosphere for any occasion or a casual outing. Join us for our weekday breakfast buffet from 7 to 10 a.m. or our weekday brunch buffet from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Want to bring the family out for a weekend brunch? Join us on Saturday and Sunday for our grand weekend brunch buffet from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. The Wyomissing Restaurant and Bakery, located at 1245 Penn Avenue in Wyomissing.
Did you know one of the nation's top surgical hospitals is right here in Berks County? At the Surgical Institute of Reading, our physicians take ownership of their patients' care. Our award-winning clinical teams have a vested interest in the quality care you receive. We use the latest state-of-the-art equipment to assist our surgeons in a wide variety of specialty areas. There is a better option for your care. Surgical Institute of Reading. Discover for yourself what sets us apart.
is a credit union that understands Pennsylvania, what it means to grow up here, raise a family, start a business. And we're committed to being your financial partner for life. With competitive rates, exclusive member discounts, and modern technology, UECU offers personalized banking that will make you feel right at home. Visit bankingforpa.org and sign up for UECU membership through our partner association, the Pennsylvania Consumer Council. UECU, banking that understands home.